Okay, where's the beginning? Okay. Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever the time you're watching this video. By the way, I am Milmar Tumanda and this is the last topic of GED114 UU, which is developing study skills. Now, I know you guys want to hear this topic because I believe that most of us has a bad approach when it comes to studying a skill. When it comes to study skills. But yes, here we are. Without further ado, let's know our objectives. Number one, we have to know why. Why do we have to understand all about this thing? Why do we need to tackle about this thing? Now, I want you to know that study is a skill, and in this video, it will explain why study is a skill. Number two is how to study. So we have different approach, we have different ideas when it comes to studying. We have different ways, right? But there are some there are some there are some methods that is very recommended from the experts, and later on we will talk about that. Next, or the last one, is when to study. Yes, kasi in terms of studying, it's not just how you execute it. It's also um, putting time on it. Like, this is for the in this duration I will study this, and then after that I will study this, and then so on and so forth. So yes, that will be our three objectives, and let's cut off to the chase. By the way, I want you to discover your approach to studying. We have to make things clear. Number one, you can answer this or comment down below. It could be on my YouTube, or you can be um, you can answer this on the Google Class. It's up to you. Number one, what is your study habit? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's fair? Or do you think it's poor? Number two, for every hour in class, I study A little, B 1 hour, C 2 hours, or D more than 2 hours. And I don't think people will answer B, C, or D. I think more of us will answer A. We'll see about that. Number three, I have an organized plan and schedule for study. A, true, B, or false. Yes. So, ang answer nyo lang, guys, is A, B, C, like the letters only. Okay? You don't have to copy and paste. You just directly answer it. Number four, I have a quiet place in which I study. So, where do you think, where are you right now? Are you in your house, an apartment, cottage, dorm? You have to be specific. You have to, like, after you answer, you have to put, like, you have to justify why. Why it's not quiet, why it's not, why it is quiet. And number five, the last one, is I usually approach studying with a positive attitude. A, true, B, false. Now, if you have a positive attitude towards studying, like, you are not those people na pag may kailangang study, wag na magdadabog na. Kapay na. Na hindi pa nagsisimula, sinasabi na napapagod na. Oh, raise your hand. Isa na ako dun. Anyway, don't forget to answer that, guys. That is plus 5 points sa quiz natin. May quiz tayo after this lecture or topic. Okay, we're done. You can pause this video to answer it. 5 lang naman. Okay, let's cut off to the chase. Why study is a skill? We have to talk about this first. Okay, everyone, did you know that studying is a skill? It's not just a mere studying. Kailangan mo lang mag-study for ganito, ganyan. Studying, like, magbasa, it's not just, kung magbabasa ka lang and you think it's a good skill of studying, so Well, it depends. It depends on the people. It depends on the person, right? Because meron tayong tinatawag na three learning channel na itatalk natin later. But let me focus on why studying is a skill. Number one, being successful in school requires a high level of study skills. So if you have poor skill in studying, I bet you cannot inquire much more information about a particular topic, right? So, yes, students must first learn these skills, practice them, and develop effective study habits in order to be successful. So, meron tayong kailangang i-compromise, i-schedule, and so on and so forth para lang ang study habits natin ay maging effective. And then number three, it's very often the study habits and practices developed and used in high school do not work for students in college. So, this what we call studying is very subjective, no, because iba yung iba yung level ng pagsa-study sa elementary sa mga young learners, sa mga high school students at saka sa college, because it has different complexity, no. Mas mahirap sa college because number one na kalaban natin dyan is time management. Number two is yung pagkapagod kasi yung dami natin gagawin. And number three is, no, I think that's the two. Complexity, pagkapagod, tsaka time management. So, doon pa lang parang pahirapan na tayo sa pag-manage or pag-approach when it comes to studying. So, yes, it is a skill. It is a very, what do you call this? Very important skill for us students para maging effective yung tinuturo ng mga teachers sa atin. So, okay, let's move on to good study habits. So, ito yung mga skills na dapat makuha natin para effective yung pagsastudy natin, hindi ma-waste yung time natin. Number one is time management. Of course, we have lots of, hindi lang isa yung subject na pagtuunan natin ng pansin, right? Why am I talking Filipino? Okay, again, we're not just dealing one subject, but a lot of subjects and a lot of activities and a lot of problems. So yes, we have to set time, set duration according to its complexity. Kung mas mahirap ang mathematics, kung nahihirapan ka doon, if you're struggling in that particular subject, you have to give much or ample of time to study it. Number two is self-discipline. Okay, here comes self-discipline. We have, oh my gosh, sorry about that. Anyway, self-discipline, we have, it's really a mandatory skill for us to have a good study habits because kontra natin dyan is yung procrastination. Diba? Scrolling on Facebook, watching YouTube videos is very we're tempted to do that, but yes, we have to have this self-discipline in order to focus, in order to execute studying, kasi so on and so forth. Alam niyo na yan, guys. Number three is concentration. Again, for example, may mga for example, kasi sabihin na natin, meron naman kayo. Ay, ito. See? See what I'm talking about. It's concentration to study. Example, meron kayong ganito. Always tawag ng tawag. While you are studying, while you are reporting, it will really distract you from focusing or like omitting information. So, yes, again, time management, self-discipline, concentration. Concentrate. Yung mga, hindi naman unnecessary things, you have to, you have to get rid of it. For example, cell phone. Again, you can turn it off. Right? Turn it off like this. Naiinis na ko. Turn it off. So, yes. Next. Okay, let's move on to memorization. So, sabihin mo natin na you don't need to memorize things, but, or you can use familiarization, but hindi natin maiwasan na you have to memorize things, di ba? For example, the year, the names, the happenings, no? You have to memorize all those things kasi it's not just a comprehensive skills. Meron talaga mga bagay na kailangan nating i-memorize. Number 5, organization. So, for example, you have to organize things. Dito papasok yung i-prioritize mo kung alin ang mas mahirap at saka i-less prioritize mo yung mas madali lang sa'yo. So yes, and the last one is effort. You have to put effort on it. No, hindi yung basta-basta lang na like me, 11th hour na ako nagsa-study minsan, or not minsan, all the time talaga. So, ang resulta, ayun, magliliit ang score. So, you have to put effort on it. Again, self-discipline and concentration. Para you will get effective studying skills. And last one, according to Mainland Community College, desire to succeed is important too. Now, if you desire to accomplish things, kagaya sa akin, I don't want to get ink grade. So, I have the desire to do this thing para makapas na at makakuha ng good grades from Ma'am Kaya Charot. So, yes, don't forget about this, guys. Good study habits, time management, self-discipline, concentration, memorization, organization, effort, and also the desire to succeed, desire to get flat 1 by Kahneman ma'am. Anyway, let's move on. Ask yourself, ask yourself, am I more inclined to remember something better when I see it, when I hear it, or when I experience it, or do something active with it? So dito na tayo, we are transitioning, guys. We are transitioning from why study is a skill to the things you need to do in able to, like, how to get an effective studying approach. So, meron tayong tinatawag na, okay, wag mo natin i-reveal natin to. So, are you better in seeing those information or those topics, hearing it? No, baka nagre-record ka while your instructor or your professor or your teacher discussing it, or when you experience it physically. No, do something active with it. Because guys, we have what we call, how to study. We have 3 learning channels. Number 1, visual learner, auditory learner, and hands-on learner. In my case, I am an auditory learner. Yes, I am very like, I record myself, I record my teacher, because it's like a music to me. Like, I remember it all the time, especially in what I'm doing right now in studying lab. I'm downloading those discussion from a lab passer, and then convert it into MP3. Yes, and I consider these things as music, and that is what you call an auditory learner. I'm an auditory learner. But aside from auditory learner, we also have visual learner and hands-on learner. Let's talk about first visual learner. Now, guys, if you are a visual learner, you learn by reading or seeing pictures. You understand and remember things by sight, using your eyes. And you can picture what you are learning in your head, and you learn best by using methods that are primary visual. Like, for example, concept mapping, KWL chart, so on, so forth, or the, what you call that, flow chart. Ano pa mga visual organizers? They are much more into that when you say visual learner. Para silang merong photographic memory ba? Diba? Na, for example, in sequencing or in enumeration, they see the what you call that, their notes, and they can actually enumerate lots of things by picturing it out through their minds. That is, again, visual learner. Next is auditory learner. Again, auditory learning means that a student learns most effectively by listening. So, kanina mata, ngayon tenga. They would prefer listening to a lecture over reading a textbook or hearing the instruction for a project instead of figuring it out hands-on or visual. So, simply speaking, ginagamit nila ang kanilang pandinig. Next is hands-on learners. Now again, hands-on learners, ay hindi pala, nalagay dito. Wait a minute. Let's pause. Where's the pause here? Okay. Anyway, let's just it's a technical issue. Hindi pala nalagay yung definition ng hands-on learners. But anyway, hands-on learners are also called kinesthetic learners. These are learners that are more capable in learning when they are experiencing it, or when they can manipulate something, or when they can touch something, feel something, or execute something para ma-demonstrate lang or malagay lang sa kanilang utak kung paano gawin or how things work. So, for example, when as teachers, when we teach place value, we have what we call blocks, right? Yung maliliit na blocks. So, there are different colors, there are different size or shape, just to differentiate the difference or the value of every blocks. So, in that kind of method, we are dealing with, or we are teaching with a hands-on approach or a kinesthetic approach, where we let the students manipulate something and able to understand our topic or our lesson. So that is an example of hands-on learner. Manipulating something, touching something, and able to understand a topic. So I hope you understand the 3 learning channels, because we are going to talk about, okay, still the learning channels. Number 1, visual learner. So what are you going to do when you're studying, mga visual learners? Number 1, visualize what you're studying. Of course, picture it out. Number 2, use color in your notes. So you can use colored pens, highlighters, no, diba, to emphasize things, or emphasizing the most important info out of that note. Number 3, visualize what the instructor is lecturing about. So it could be drawing or graphs, no, or any other visual organizers. Yes, here the fishbone, mga ganun ba. Next is draw pictures and diagrams. So in our modern world, we are very we have easy access on the internet. We can download things, we can download pictures and diagrams easily and put it in our notes, right? So make use of it. Next is use mind maps in your notes. So like what I talk about, visual organizers. Next, use picture and graphics to reinforce learning. Same pa rin. And learn from videos. Yan. Again, since we have access on the internet, we can learn videos, like from infographics, so on and so forth. That's for the visual learner. Let's move on to the auditory learners. So mga auditory learners, here is what you're going to do. Number 1, listen to tapes of recorded assignments. No, kung natututo ka through listening, then you are not the auditory learner. So listen to tapes, or record your own textbook by reading it. Read out loud, no? So meron, including din pala yung read out loud without any using gadgets. You just read out loud, kasi when you hear yourself reading those information, it will directly like put it in your whatever core somewhere in your brain. It's what you call, I think, neural pathway. Yes, if correct me if I'm wrong, it's what they call neural pathway. It's easily doon ina-absorb yung mga information na binabasa mo. Next, talk over ideas from class, what you're studying with other students. So I think you guys are familiar with this kind of method, like before your quiz, diba, you talk about those previous topics with your classmates. So that is an example of a technique for an auditory learner, like talking, sharing ideas, sharing answers, and so on and so forth. Next, participate in class discussion. Again, you want to hear something, you want to hear an information out from those people who might be knowledgeable about a particular topic. So yes, participate in class discussion. Last but not the least, listen to audio tapes on the subject. I think it's similar from the first technique, yeah, but whatever. It's the end game here is listen to tapes and recorded, read out loud, so on and so forth. I guess that's for auditor learner. Let's move on to hands-on learners. Okay, this is a unique approach actually, no, kasi it takes effort, much effort, because you're using your whole body, you're using your hands. No, yes, stand up. First here is stand up and move around while you are studying. Next, take frequent breaks while studying. 3. Make use of your hands and write things down as you study. So I think I'm also a hands-on learner because, like, when you read and you jot down notes, that is an example of a hands-on learner. You have to do something physically and able to demonstrate or to put to take information. No, you have to use, or like example, writing it, jotting down notes. That is an example of hands-on learner. Next is use the computer to reinforce learning. So manipulating gadgets, that's also included. Next, be physically active. Experiment with objects. And last one is memorize or drill while walking or exercising. So ganyan pala yung mga hands-on learner, dapat gumagalaw sila para absorb nila yung mga information. So I guess memorize while walking or exercising. That helps them to learn things. So I guess that's for the 3 learning channels. Let's move on to when to study. So this is the time when we talk about duration or scheduling. So ayan, I have five schedules here. Like number 1 is daily, number 2 weekly, number 3 is the pre-exam, and then peak, and then bonus. So let's talk about first. Let's talk about daily first. Okay, when you say daily review or daily study, these are studying after an hour of your class. It says here, successful students read and review notes before each class to recall information from their previous class and to warm up for learning. So yes, that is the kind of study na ginagawa nyo after an hour of a class. Now, study says na, research or expert says na 80% ng information na nakukuha mo sa klase mawawala after 24 hours. So yeah, yes, that's what they say. That's what science say. You have to review and able to refresh those information. So that is daily study. Let's move on to weekly. Now, at the end of the week, go over your notes for the week. So, every weekends, you go study. This will refreshes your memory, as repetition is the key to remembering. So, yes, repetition, di ba? May daily ka. And you have to study again on the weekends para ma-refresh yung mind mo. Next is pre-exam. So, ito na. Pre-exam is different from from daily or weekends, because pre-exam will take you 3 to 5 hours. These are longer. I know, because sometimes study from the start to the end. But always remember, when you pre-exam study or pre-exam review, you have to break your study sessions into 1 hour blocks. Okay, we are not robots. No, we are not robots. We feel backaches, we feel headaches, and so on and so forth. So you have to take 10-minute breaks in between. Again, 1 hour blocks with 10-minute breaks, or it depends on you kung kaya pa. And then always remember, a tired body only makes a tired mind. So take a break, take it easy. Okay, put yourself into 1 hour block sessions para ma-accommodate mo lahat ng topics. Let's move on to peak. Now, when we say peak, this is your highest point of existence, charot. This is when you study when you're at your peak, or when you are more awake and alert and able to absorb new information. Okay? If you're a nocturnal person, when you say nocturnal, it's like active, more active in the night. You study on the night, during night. And when you're a morning person, anong opposite ng nocturnal? Anyway, when you're a morning person, you have to study during morning. But here's the rub. You have to study when you are in the mood, when you feel ready to take new information, when you are physically and mentally ready to hurt yourself with lots of information. So yes, that is peak review or peak study. Hindi yung peak na nakikita mo lang yung libro mo and you decided to read. No, it's not like that. Like basa-basa lang. You should have the energy to study. And last but not the least, again, the bonus. Ito yung dinidisregard natin, mga people. Ito yung dinidisregard natin, especially young learners, when they have lot of time na pwede nilang ituon nila sa pag-aaral. Instead, they go out somewhere else with their friends. Laag dire, laag dito, punta doon. So yes, again, kahit high school at saka mga college, no, they have the bonus time, but they tend to neglect it. What happened? They to watch TikTok videos. They scrolling until the end. Mapunta na sila sa paleontology na era. So yes, that is the again, nane-neglect tong bonus time na review or study. This is whenever bonus study is whenever you have extra time to study. Now, study whenever you find yourself having an unexpected break, a free hour, a canceled class, etc. Weekend evenings can also be used for studying. So, di ba nabulol na ako, dami kong sinatsat. Anyway, yes. Tip for that bonus studying, no. You can write on a 3x5 cards, or meron ba tayong yung tinatawag nating index card. Yes, you can jot down notes there, and then whenever you have free time, like for example, you're waiting in line. That is an example of bonus time. So you can get your index card and then to review it. Another is canceled class. Instead of doing TikToks, you just pull your notes out and study it. That is bonus review or bonus study. There's no pressure, there's no deadlines, just study. Okay? That is, again, daily, weekly, pre-exam, peak bonus, when to review or to study. Anyway, guys, study-wise, not hard. That's all for today. I hope you guys learned something from that topic, like developing study skills. I hope after this lecture, you guys will have an idea on how to approach studying. Hindi yung magdadabog. Hindi pa nakastart, sinasabi na gikapoy na or napapagod na ako kahit hindi pa nakabuklat. Oh, inarrange lang yung inarrange lang yung lamesa, inarrange lang yung mga notes, tapos natulog. Nag-Facebook, ganun. So, yes guys, don't forget, you have to practice good study habits and able to be successful, especially for us college, no? And at the end of the day, we have some of us, most of us actually, will have board exams, and we, I know it's difficult, but we have to, no, enable to be successful in life in the near future. And also to our young learners, as a future educator, we have to instill this kind of habit, because as pag instill natin to sa mga mindset ng mga bata at the very young age, kahit bata pa, kahit kinder, you have to teach them of lending time for studying, because it's not all about unicorns and choo-choo, no? You have to struggle. We have to, again, may sinasabi tayo, no pain, no gain. So yes, instill in their minds na study is a skill. Study will help you in the near future. Again, paulit-ulit. So, yes, developing studying approach is a skill. So, I think that would be all. Ang dami ko nang sinabi. Thank you everyone. Kahit nag-meet lang tayo once, first day lang tayo nag-meet, pero okay lang. Laban pa rin. Mga maestro. That will be all. Ang dami lang sinabi. That will be all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ma'am Kyer, and thank you everyone for listening. Buyers. That is, I think, 30 minutes. Okay, sakto lang. Bye-bye.